Peppa Pig is among the funniest animated shows of all time. But is making sense really a priority in this cartoon? Because honestly, I don't think so. In the episode Peppa's Circus, Grandpa Pig is in the backyard setting up a striped tent, and the kids, curious, run over to see what's going on. Before they start running, we see Peppa up front with Danny Dog. But by the time they get close to Grandpa, it's Susie Sheep standing next to Peppa. You might argue that Susie runs faster than Danny, but it actually creates a bit of confusion. And that's not all in this episode. When Granny Pig lends a few items for the kids to set up the circus, Emily Elephant finds colorful balls for juggling. But surprisingly, during the performance, the animators switched the balls for eggs and potatoes. How did that happen? It's definitely a mystery. In today's video, get ready for plenty of laughs as we discover more continuity and animation errors involving the little pink pig. Put on your golden boots and get ready to dive into the amazing world of Peppa and her family. In the second season of Peppa Pig, in the episode The Dentist, Peppa and George are ready to brush their teeth, and we can see the sink filled with water in the background. But soon, the water just vanishes. Was it magic? Or did it drain away? It's one of those details that makes us laugh and wonder what the animators were thinking. Still in the episode, The Dentist, we have another curious detail. When Peppa and her family enter the dentist's office, the setup is pretty simple, and George is close to his parents. But as soon as the focus shifts to George, a dentist's table mysteriously appears in the background. Can someone explain where this table came from? Looks like it was eager to be part of the checkup too. Moving on to the second season episode, Captain Daddy Pig. In one of the scenes, we see that the back of the boat initially has no fixture to tie it up. But in another scene where Daddy Pig needs to swim back to the boat, a black cylinder suddenly appears, seemingly ready to secure the boat. Did the boat adapt itself just to help Daddy Pig out? In the same episode, Captain Daddy Pig, there's a curious detail involving a bell that hardly anyone noticed. The entire pig family is having fun on the boat, and there's no bell visible on the mast. But suddenly, as if by magic, a bell appears. Daddy Pig even asks Peppa to ring it. But wait, Daddy Pig? That bell wasn't there before. It's almost as if the boat is magical, with things appearing and disappearing out of nowhere. If you're as intrigued as we are by these oddities, comment a bunch of question marks below so we know we're not alone. Now, onto the episode, Grandpa Pig's computer. Peppa and George show up in Grandpa Pig's workshop with a broken clock that needs fixing. They're excited to see Grandpa in action. If you look closely around the workshop, you'll notice a tool basket on a shelf in the background. But here's the surprise. As the scene shifts, in some moments, the basket disappears from its spot, vanishing in a few frames. Curious, isn't it? It's almost like the tool basket has a mind of its own and loves playing hide and seek with us. In the episode Shake, Rattle, and Bang, Madame Gazelle organizes a musical performance for the children. Each child picks their favorite instrument, ready for some fun. Peppa, Susie, and Rebecca have their instruments chosen. But when they get on stage, they mysteriously disappear from the scene. Where did those instruments go? Did someone hide them for a laugh? And it doesn't stop there. In the same episode, the famous globe that sits in the corner of the classroom also vanishes when the parents arrive to pick up their little ones from Madame Gazelle's school. Another interesting detail is Mr. Bull's presence in the classroom, even though he seemingly doesn't have any children in the class. Is he there for a special reason, or does he have a hidden secret? In the episode Chloe's Puppet Theater, Peppa and her family visit Daddy Pig's brother's house. When the kids go to Cousin Chloe's room, we see that the floor is empty at first. But as we get closer to the scene, some items like a rug, glue supplies, paintbrushes, and even a puppet box magically appear in the room. This detail is quite funny. It's like Chloe's room is magical, and objects only appear when they're needed. Speaking of objects that move, it seems Mr. Bull doesn't have the best luck. In the episode, Mr. Bull in a china shop, the pig family is out for a drive and meets Mr. Bull working on the road. That's when the first error appears. George is holding a toy tractor, but as soon as they get out of the car, the toy disappears. We might think George left the tractor in the car, but it doesn't seem like that's what happened. Inside Miss Rabbit's china shop, when the pig family tries to fix a broken kettle, we can see colorful vases next to the counter. But pay close attention. These vases move around by themselves, and Mr. Bull even bumps into the blue flower vase. Could they have a life of their own, like in Beauty and the Beast? Or maybe Miss Rabbit loves rearranging them, so someone always knocks one over, ensuring she makes a sale. We wouldn't be surprised. In the same episode, Chloe's Puppet Theater, that we mentioned earlier, Chloe's room has another curious detail. When we see the arrangement of furniture, pictures on the wall, and the window next to the puppet theater, everything seems fine. But as soon as we switch to the view from inside the theater, the window moves to the back, giving the impression that it's in a different spot. Then, when the camera returns to a wide shot, it's back in its original place. If you're enjoying these mysteries, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for more videos like this. Mr. Potato is one of Peppa Pig's most lively characters, always bringing loads of fun. In a special Christmas episode, he performs a seemingly magical show where the audience mysteriously changes throughout. If you look closely, you'll notice that in the second to last row, there's a cat sitting beside Freddy Fox. When Pedro goes to the bathroom, suddenly, the cat and the character beside it disappear, leaving a space between Freddy and Susie Sheep. But then, out of nowhere, they reappear when Pedro returns. This cat is a true magician. It vanishes and reappears several times, even giving its seat to another character depending on the angle of the scene. This is the kind of thing you only see in Peppa Pig or, who knows, in Wonderland. What we're about to mention isn't exactly a mistake, but it's definitely something odd in Peppa Pig's world. The show, which is British, takes place in a world where some animals act like humans, and humans are rarely seen, except for the Queen of England and Santa Claus. However, a curious aspect is that some species, like chickens, don't talk. In the episode Grandpa Pig's Chickens, Peppa and George find out that Grandpa Pig has chickens, and even a rooster. But these animals behave normally and don't talk. It's strange, considering that the rooster is a symbol of France, a country with a historical rivalry with England. Additionally, in the episode The Eiffel Tower, during Peppa's visit to Paris, we don't see any talking roosters. Coincidence? Maybe. But in Peppa Pig, only mammals are humanized, while birds remain normal. In the episode Daddy Pig's Birthday, several interesting details pop up. On this special day, Peppa's dad goes to work, and we see a chalkboard beside him filled with colorful calculations written in green, blue, and purple. But when the scene changes angles, the colors magically switch to blue, red, and yellow. Is it a mistake or some magic that only Peppa Pig can explain? In one episode, Peppa's computer is shown facing the same direction in every scene, but the power button keeps changing position. This detail passes by quickly, but if you pay attention, you'll see that the computer's on and off button actually moves around without any apparent reason. It's something that only happens in Peppa Pig's world. Mr. Fox is one of Peppa Pig's clever characters, always involved in some kind of trade. Whether he's selling something or offering his services, he's known for his shrewdness. In a funny episode, Grandpa Rabbit visits Peppa's school to share a story about his trip to the moon. In the middle of the story, Freddy Fox, Mr. Fox's son, cracks a joke about how his dad would sell even packaged rocks. A humorous touch that makes the show even more entertaining. But seriously, what rocks are those, Freddy? Very strange indeed. Returning to Daddy Pig's birthday episode, there's another funny detail. Mummy Pig brings 4 balloons to decorate for the party, but as she hangs them on the tree, they magically turn into 6. This scene shows how even small details in Peppa Pig can create hilarious and unexpected moments. In a hilarious episode, Daddy Pig finds himself in a cooking challenge with Peppa and George, where the mission is to make the perfect jelly. Everything seems normal until, with no explanation, a timer appears out of nowhere on the countertop. One moment it's not there, and then suddenly it is. Does Daddy Pig have secret powers to make the timer appear? It's something only Peppa Pig could show us. Peppa Pig really is a show full of surprises and details that make it unique and incredibly fun. These mistakes and little errors make every episode more interesting. And you? Do you also enjoy Peppa Pig? Make sure to check out other videos we've picked for you. See you in the next video.